Why I don't play Call of Duty anymore. Written by You Shall Not Pass 121. Lockdown hit me pretty hard, as I'm sure it has everyone else. I live alone, so the loneliness was pretty intense. Not at first, I guess, but eventually it had eaten away at me. Don't get me wrong, I do have friends, but I live pretty far out, and the majority of my circle of friends consist of people from my work. So generally, I am pretty isolated. When lockdown first began, I was pretty elated, as I'm sure most people were. It kind of felt like a holiday that was long overdue, and I spent the first few weeks just pottering about my flat, eating, sleeping, and so on. After a while, the excitement of it kind of fizzled out, and the overwhelming repetition and lack of routine really started to weigh me down. The days merged and blended, and most of the time, I had no idea what day of the week it was. Not that it mattered anyway. Monday was the new Friday, and weekends had no meaning. It was getting pretty hard to deal with mentally, to tell you the truth. Netflix no longer had anything of interest to offer, and I'd read every book that I owned. Then, I got an idea. I decided to buy myself an Xbox, along with the new Call of Duty game. That way, I thought I could keep myself occupied and entertained. Maybe I could perhaps make some new friends along the way. To be honest, I was unbelievably excited. I had very little gaming experience, so I knew that it would be a tad difficult starting out. I knew that I would probably be ripped apart by some of the more seasoned gamers, but honestly, I welcomed it. Anything to stop the overwhelming loneliness that I was experiencing. I needed a change, and anything would do. I ordered my Xbox, my game, and I waited around 2 to 3 days for it to arrive. The longest 2 to 3 days of my frickin' life at that point. When it eventually came, I got set up straight away. I had no interest in playing story mode, as I knew from copious amounts of research I did that it wasn't the best place to make any friends. The place for that was online mode, in particular, the online team deathmatch games. I loaded up my first game, but naturally, I died immediately. I wanted to get better at the game before I tried to join any parties and attempt to make friends. Let's fast forward about 5 days later. I played the game for 8 hours straight, every single day. I rarely like to blow my own trumpet, but I got good. Pretty fast. It was time to join some parties and acquaint myself with some randoms. I hit it off with a few people straight away. People from all over the world. My first online party chat consisted of around 30 people, and it was fucking wild. I made so many new friends. It was the first time I felt happy in months. I had become quite close friends with Herbal Shank, Nuke Chicken Ham, and Toast Whisperer. I didn't know too much about them, to be honest, but our mutual love for the game connected us. One night, I was up pretty late playing when some random joined our chat and our game. I don't know how, because we started playing on private channels after some dickheads trolled us. This guy didn't speak at first, but we could all hear him breathing heavily. We did what most guys would and just tore him a new one, and yet he still wouldn't speak. His breathing was fucking jarring, to tell you the truth. I just thought he was a weirdo. One of them. You know, we tried to ignore him the first few nights. He wasn't doing anything untoward, but it was weird because he wouldn't even play the game. He kept popping up though, every single night. Phantom Phil joined your game. Always at exactly 3 a.m. he joined the game. It almost became ritual. We warmed up to him being there. He was our little lurker friend. our little heavy breather. It went on like that for a few days. We tried to get him to speak, to engage with us. Hell, even play the fucking game. But he wouldn't. All he would do is breathe. It almost seemed like he had his mic in his mouth. It was so heavy. Hey Phil, buddy, quit the creepster breathing, will ya? I would say him laughing. The other guys would join in. It was harmless fun. Just a few guys who had fuck all else to do. One night, things got real and scary really quickly. It was 3 a.m. and Philly joined the game, but it wasn't followed by any heavy breathing this time. It was deathly silent. Then he sent me a message. Phantom Phil sent you a message.
Joshua, can we be friends?
What the fuck? How did he know my name? Phantom Philly sent you a message.
Do you remember me, Joshua? Do you remember what you did? Think back, Joshua. Think back.
I was quite freaked out at this point, as you can probably imagine. I had no idea what this guy was on about. I tried to be lighthearted on the private chat with the guys, tried to join in with the conversation, but I was deeply disturbed. Then they all left the chat. I thought it was some malfunction at first, a glitch. But when I couldn't rejoin, I started to become really worried. It was just me and Phantom Phil in the game. Phantom Phil sent you a message.
Do you remember year 7, Joshua? Do you remember what you did that year?
Phantom Phil sent you a game clip. I wasn't sure whether I should open it, but my curiosity got the better of me. It always did. I hovered over it and eventually clicked on it. It wasn't a game clip. It was a live recording of my fucking bedroom. I could see myself in the darkness, my slumped body silhouette in the dim light of my computer screen. I saw something move in the corner of my bed. A shadow, but it was too quick. I could swear that it ran under my bed. I scrambled to turn all of the lights on. I checked under my bed, but there was nothing there. A ping reached my ears. Phantom Phil sent you a message.
Do you remember, Joshua? Think back to that dreary day back in 1995.
My heart was pounding so hard against my chest. I honestly thought I was going to have a heart attack. 1995? I had completely forgotten. It was an accident. I swear. I didn't mean for any of it to happen. Phantom Phil sent you a message.
You're a liar, Joshua. I died because of you, and no one ever found me. Because you never told anyone!
Phantom Phil left the game. I couldn't sleep at all that night. I basically haven't been able to sleep properly since, and I haven't logged onto the game. You often forget about trauma, don't you? As you grow older, these things sort of drift to the back of your mind, don't they? They lodge themselves so deep inside you like the roots of a tree. Always there, but they do fade away with time. I had almost completely forgotten Phil. It was an accident though, I swear. I didn't know he was going to fall in. I was a kid. I was scared. I have now thrown the Xbox out. I have unplugged the TV, but the pings of incoming messages wake me up every single night. I know Phantom Phil is here, and I know he is watching. I think he's coming for me. I don't think I've got long left.